Hello and welcome to Conversations in Agile. This is the place where we talk about everything Agile in bite-sized form so that you find it easy to understand. I'm Bunmi, the Lean Agile, and with me today is Tunde Alabi, the Agile Fairy. So, over to you, Tunde.
Actually, it's over back to you. Today, I wanted to just talk to you about the accountabilities and roles in Agile. What I'm really curious about is Agile is, if you like, is a not so much a transition, but a move forward, a step forward from project management. Now, we've got PMO, project management office, project managers. Now, is there a role? What I'd like to know, is there a role for PMO in Agile delivery? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay. Typically, it's a very good question. Typically, when you have Agile at scale,
Mhm.
you've got lots of Agile teams working. Now,
So tell us about Agile at scale. What does that mean?
that means as an organization you've implemented agile not just in one particular team but in a number of teams. You may actually have a whole portfolio of programs that are running under the agile delivery. And
Mhm.
what happens in such an organization is that somebody needs to coordinate quite a lot of what's going on there. Now, if you do not watch it, each of those agile teams will start working in silos. Now, the PMO typically in the traditional delivery is
Yeah.
what you might call like the project police officer. So they are like the command and control people with a lot of heavy governance, and people actually that are agile minded loathe working with
That's
PMO.
not giving them a good picture. Well, after all, they're just trying to make sure that the work's done, isn't it?
Yes, they are, but sometimes they can come across as a bit heavy-handed. Funny enough, I've got a background in PMO, so I know what this is. So there's a whole lot of things around budgeting, around
Mm.
measurements, around governance that can be quite heavy-handed that the people that grew up with Agile are thinking, you're slowing me down, I don't need any of this. But the
Mm.
PMO is needed, but the role is different.
Mm.
So what the PMO measures in an agile delivery is different from what they used to measure in the old traditional way of working. So
Oh.
back in the traditional project, you have rack status for budget, rack status for delivery, rack status for this, that, and the other. And you effectively just have this massive decks and PowerPoints submitted to the project board or program board telling you that the program is green.
Mm.
But guess what? Quite often you have what I call a watermelon project, whereby it's green on the outside, but
Mhm.
it's red on the inside. Now, in an agile delivery, a PMO is needed, but they're not needed to start measuring outputs once again. I don't want to know all those things that they have been measuring in the traditional sense. I want to see them measure outcomes. So, for them to measure anything, the question is, what is the purpose of this measure?
Mm.
Have all these outputs, are they leading to any outcomes that are valuable, that are tangible, that the business needs? Are they meeting the customer needs? Quite often, the focus is on whether you finish your requirements, whether you finish your BRDs, FRDs, all of those stage
Mm.
gating. That is what the PMOs used to measure. They need to come away from that in a world where we don't have those kind of phase gates to measure value. So that's one of the reasons why you need a PMO in an agile world, particularly when you're bringing it together for a lot of agile teams when you're working at scale.
That is fantastic. Three things I'm taking away from that: measures, scaling, and requirements. The PMO can do that, but they've got to start thinking of doing it in an agile way where it's not about outputs, it is about outcomes, it is about delivering value. Is that correct?
That's correct. And the PMO can work as an agile coach. So when the PMO is trained properly in
Mhm.
the new world, they can be one of the coaches.
So there it is. Therein ends the session for today. If you're a PMO and you're listening to this, what is my advice? Well, I'm drawing it from what the Lean Angel is subliminally telling us. A good PMO should be someone that's got some, get some agile training, put a feather in your cap, begin to move away from the outputs, the rag status to value sort of metrics. This is Conversation in Agile. I'm the Agile Fairy Tunde, and that was the great, effervescent, lean angel, Bunmi Adeke. We're definitely going to see you next time.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Bye.
Arrivederci.